Hello, it's Tim from Fair Play Now on the 26th of September 2025. So, as the title says on this video, who really is PM here in the UK? Is it Starmer, or is it in reality Tony Blair who is still PM? And this whole digital ID card thing really kind of suggests that it might be Blair who is actually still Prime Minister in this country, because after all, 20 plus years ago, that was his pet project. He didn't get it off the ground, and here we are with the next Labour government in now, and lo and behold, the whole thing is rearing its ugly head once again. And I've read a really interesting Substack story. I've been getting this guy's emails for the last few months, a guy called David Fleming, who has got obviously a Substack channel, or whatever you call it, on that platform, and he puts up some really good articles. I'm not sure how I started getting his emails and his Substack through to me. Maybe it was one of you guys who recommended it, I can't remember, but anyway, it's a great recommendation, and I've been reading a few of his articles lately, and the latest one, which I'll leave a link to in the description box below, by the way, so you can go and read it yourself, and he is talking about how, well, it really does seem like Tony Blair is still in charge, and Starmer is just the delivery boy, is how he puts it, which is classic really. But yeah, Blair failed to get in his ID cards last time 20 years ago, and he spent the last couple of decades or so trying to put things into place. So next time a Labour government came in, it would be where everything would be in place for digital IDs, and as the article says, Starmer is there really to deliver it. So that's the essence of the article, and I thought it made for very, very interesting reading. And yeah, it's no coincidence, is it really, that yeah, the Labour government, this one comes in, it's been in just over a year now, and yeah, funnily enough, digital ID cards are sort of making a comeback. They've kind of introduced their excuse for it, which is all of the migration, which is, or illegal immigration, shall I say, which has been huge headlines, huge stories all year, sort of building up that public reaction more and more and more and more, until we're at that stage where, oh look, you know, we've got the solution now, here's how we're going to deal with it, it's going to be with digital IDs. Luckily there seems to be a massive pushback on it, and if you read the article, in there is a link to this petition that is going around at the moment. Just a few days ago, apparently it was just on about 70,000 signatures, and then at the time the article was written, it had suddenly leapt up in about a day up to about 800,000, and now it's up to nearly 1.1 million. Well, by the time you watch this, it will probably be 1.1 million. So what I'll do, although the link to the petitions in the article, which will also be in the description box below here, I will also leave a direct link to the petition as well. I'm not sure how much good these petitions do. I think they do some good, because if they get a massive pushback on things, governments, you know, tend to kind of shy away, you know, if there's a massive pushback on things. So I think in some ways they do a little bit of good, debatable how much good they do, but it's an avenue where public discontent can be put through, and yeah, the government will be looking at things like this and hopefully reading it loud and clear, as it were. I'll also kind of again remind you, I did mention this in my last video, the event going on organised by the Together organisation up there in Liverpool this Sunday, a couple of days time at midday. So I'll put a little thing up here somewhere where you can see the logo they've generated and details of the venue. So yeah, do check that out, and if you can get along there on Sunday, do get up there. And I think it is vital that we reject this whole digital ID thing, because it is really another sort of step towards totalitarianism. We've had enough steps towards that as it is in recent times, but if they get digital ID cards in, it's going to be just another step towards totalitarianism. It will make sort of totalitarian activities a lot easier for them, and the whole time they haven't got that tool in their toolbox, yeah, it really means they are in some ways quite limited on what they can do. But as soon as they've got that, you know, they're just going to advance it more and more and more. They'll initially just say, oh, well, you know, it's just to you know, prevent immigration, illegal immigration, and it's just going to be used in a limited way. But then there'll be obviously the mission creep until it's sort of everywhere, and you just won't be able to do really anything without the government knowing about it. Things everywhere will ask you for your sort of ID, national ID cards. There'll be you know, even if you go and spend more than whatever it might be, a couple £100 in a shop, they'll probably say, oh, we'll have to verify this purchase with your digital ID. And of course, the way they want it to go is it will all be automatic eventually. You'll have, it will come off, you know, the retina of your eye, that kind of thing. You'll sort of look up at a sort of a digital ID camera above whatever, and then it will sort of read all of your digital ID and then decide if you've been a good boy or girl as far as the government's concerned. You can do whatever it is you're wanting to do, sort of buy that plane ticket, sort of buy that steak from the fridge, which will be in future years kind of lockable behind sort of lockable glass doors, and you'll have to sort of look into the camera that will be on the front like that. It will read your sort of digital ID from your retina, and then it will decide whether you can open that cabinet door to get the steak that you want, or to get the beer or wine that you want, whatever it is, and then it will just go from there. If you want to get some fuel, you'll have to sort of look at the camera on the fuel pump before you can fill up your car. And again, if it sort of thinks you've driven too much that month already, or they don't want you leaving your 15-minute area or whatever it might be, they will refuse you the fuel. Also, if you go outside your sort of 50 or 15 or whatever it might be, 20-30-minute area, you know, you try and fill up at a station, petrol station outside that area, again, they'll know you're there and it will refuse you your you know, fuel. But there's so many ways, horrible ways, in which it can be used for control over the likes of you and me. So digital IDs, it's really something we do not want, and although they might be a bit benign to start with, they might make life easier to start with. You won't need loads of different IDs, you can just use one ID for everything. Eventually they will use it, and I promise you they really will use it to kind of keep control over you, keep tabs on you, and ultimately to sort of fence you into whatever kind of lifestyle they want you to lead, which will be very little travel beyond your sort of immediate area, and you know, they won't be allowing you to buy certain products eventually unless you've got a special kind of dispensation on your ID system, and if you sort of fail that, well, you're not going to be able to do really much of anything. So I tell you what, it is something we really need to fight against, because if they haven't got digital ID, they can't do half the stuff they want to do. And I think that governments have got too much power anyway. I'm very much of the opinion that we should have little, well, we can't get away with no government, I don't think, but the government should be as minor and as minuscule as we can possibly get it. I'm very much a libertarian in that regard, I suppose you could say. I would sort of dearly love to see a government with probably about 5% of the reach and power that the one we've got now has got. I think we could sort of operate perfectly well, probably even better or much better if we just had 5% of the government that we've actually got, and it wouldn't be collapse of society as they'd have you believe. Oh, if you don't have very much government, you'll just get anarchy. Well, that's what they want you to believe, but because anarchy, I think I've said on this channel before, the actual definition of anarchy is without rulers, I believe, is what it means. We've all got this image of anarchy in our heads from an early age, haven't we? That it's a really bad thing, and if anarchy does come in, well, you know, society will fall apart and you'll just get rioting and burning buildings everywhere, sort of broken windows, looting, crime. That's the propaganda fed to us from an early age. Well, who has put that propaganda into our heads? Well, it's probably the rulers, those in charge, the government, you know, because they want themselves to be in power. They want government, and they want ever increasing bigger government as well. So that is just really another psyop, as it were, another sort of propaganda piece that's been put into everybody's heads. And there is evidence that people can get on very well indeed, and live quite peaceably and law-abidingly without government overreach, without excessive government. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I've rambled on a fair bit here, but yeah, if you can get up to Liverpool, do get up there on Sunday. If you want to sign that petition, do sign that. And if you want to read that Substack article I mentioned, do check it out. I think it puts into very, very good detail indeed exactly who is in charge in this country, and it's not Starmer, it's Tony Blair and those who control him. So it's a really fantastic article, and if you want to subscribe to sort of David Fleming's Substack, that might be a good idea as well. I'm subscribed to it, and he does put out some good stuff. Anyway, all the links will be in the description box below, so go and check that out, and I'll be back soon. Tim from Fair Play Now, thanks for watching.